My name is Naomi No. I'm a junior and I play tennis.
My name is Lizzie Beckwith. I'm a sophomore.
My name is Liz Jaimes.
My name is Luke Lacey and I played basketball and tennis.
My name's Caden Hunsaker.
My name is Sherry Frankie and I am in 10th grade, and this year I did volleyball and track and field.
During cross country, we started before school started, and so every morning at 7 a.m. we met at the track, and there's about 5 or 6 of us that came every day.
One of my favorite moments from volleyball this year was when it came to playoffs. We had some people that had injuries, and so we had to just kind of step up as a team.
Probably me and Liz, we played doubles at PG.
My favorite memory probably was from track and field on the first day when we showed up, and everything that I possibly imagined, it was so much worse.
The practices after school every day, because it was such a great group of girls and it just kind of became our happy place, and we would mess around but we'd also work really hard.
When we played Wasatch, because you really realize how much you love the people you play with if you still have a good time when you have to drive super far and then get beat by a lot and drive home, but you still have fun.
Dunking on a 6'8" kid.
My most memorable moment was me and Naomi's double match against PG, and we were just super hyped and we knew we might lose, but we still had a ton of fun and we ended up winning.
So the most memorable moment was we were in the tournament, and so we had just lost to Lone Peak. It was their best team, and then the last game was a championship game, and we came back and we beat them, and it was insane. It was awesome.
I think the first practice I was there, everyone else was shooting on the other side of the court and I was shooting on one side, so it was kind of like a bit awkward, but then they kind of invited me over there, and I felt like I was kind of already friends with them.
Probably our game against Wasatch. We drove all the way down there ready to play hard, ready to get a win, and we went into overtime and we barely lost, but it was definitely a well-fought game by the entire team.
My most memorable moment from this season was our first game. It wasn't actually even our first game, it was just a friendly. And it was against Da Vinci, and it was our hardest game, and I totally thought we were gonna lose. It was really intense, but then our team just clicked, and we just got in sync, and we totally pulled together and we won the game.
My most memorable moment was when we hosted the meet here at school, and our relay team got our best PR time. I was very happy because we did our best.
Yeah, so it was a tough year because we were in a transition year, moving up to a higher region. So we played a lot of really good teams. We had just come off of a year of winning the 1A state championship and winning it pretty soundly. So we thought we were pretty good, right? And so we came to this year pretty excited with a lot of high expectations. And our first game we got killed, and we were like, oh boy, this is gonna be a tough season. But we stuck through it throughout the season, played some really good teams, played American Forks JV team, they're a 6A school, big schools. We actually were able to beat them, and so we had a lot of success against some good teams. So ultimately it was a great season.
So one of my favorite moments from track and field is just being together as a team and just lifting together and running together. Since it was our first year, we didn't have a ton of meets or anything, but just working and playing as a team has been really fun. So.
Most memorable moment was probably when we played Wasatch here, and it was a super close game, and I can't remember if I hit a game-tying 3 before overtime or during overtime, but the crowd just went crazy, and it was a super awesome feeling, and I loved it so much.
Early season, and I fell and I dislocated my ankle, and we rushed to the hospital, and that was hard. Sorry. But during that time, as I watched somebody go and take my place, I just felt this deep love for my team, and that they were able to take the place that I had left for them, and that they were able to keep going and kind of keep playing without me. And so I just experienced this new love for my team.
Yeah, so this year we had, I think, 9 seniors, returning seniors from last year. And we only had 1 senior graduate last year, so we had most of our team this year. And so, and our cheer is brothers. And so that's kind of what we tried to embody this year, especially this year as we had been growing from last year, was that theme of brothers.
Something I've learned doing sports at American Heritage is that hard work can really get you places. We have a lot of talented people here, but not that I would consider myself untalented, but when you work hard, you can really improve, and I think that's a principle that goes with anything in life.
I kind of learned that, like, maybe playing or winning isn't the most important thing. It's making new friends. Like, I've made more friends because of that sport than, like, if I didn't have that sport, then I wouldn't have known those kids. But since I played that sport, I gained more friends and I've met more people.
One thing that I've learned from this season is that hard work doesn't pay off immediately. You have to wait and keep working more than you think you have to before you see the results.
One of the things I've learned about being on the track team is that while track is such an individual sport, it's also very much a team bonding experience, and you do work as a team, you lose as a team, and you win as a team as well.
Playing athletics here has strengthened me by building my self-confidence. It's helped me be a better team player by helping the other team members on the team get their best and do their best.
I learned a lot about mental toughness and the importance of really not getting too wrapped up in the moment, but just letting yourself play the way you feel you should.
Some things I've learned, I think, is it's important to be dedicated, because there was those mornings waking up at 4:45-ish and trying to get ready to go to basketball, and you just don't want to, but I've learned that commitment and dedication pays off.
I learned that teamwork really helps with everything in life. When you have good teammates, you can really do a lot.
Probably just keeping a good attitude and being a good sport when you're out on your own on the court. So you have to play against your opponent, but also your own brain, and make sure you stay positive so you can end up winning the game.
I learned how to try new things because this was my first season playing tennis, and it was hard sometimes because I've never played it before, but I just learned how to enjoy it, and if you mess up, just keep going and have a good mindset.
American Heritage Athletics has really taught me to work hard, and that I'm the only obstacle that I have for anything in my life, and if I'm willing to work hard and put all the effort I need to, then I can overcome anything. So
I became so much closer and so much more appreciative of my teammates, and I don't know, it really gave me an experience I never thought would happen, and I think I turned out a better person.
So one of my most favorite memories is just the atmosphere and happiness that being on a team really brings. It's really different not being on a sports team, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity I've had to be able to play with my friends and just have an enjoyable time together.
I learned the importance of not dwelling on our mistakes and the bad moments, but just learning from them and going forward with a positive attitude.
In tennis, I really liked the coaches. They were really great, and I liked my teammates. I made really good friends, I thought, and I liked the competition in every sport.
This was my first year playing tennis or being on any high school sports team, and it was really quite different because I had never, thought I would enjoy athletics or anything like that. But I really did enjoy being on the team, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I like new things and I'm willing to try new things, and it really helped me in a lot of my schooling, and just taking a break and having a couple hours to relax each day was really nice.
I learned from the ultimate Frisbee team to have good sportsmanship, because that's the most important part of the game.
I've learned that I can't just do all the work myself. I have to let other people do it with me, and that if I don't try my best, then they won't be able to try their best, and if we both don't try our best, then we won't be able to do our best as a team.
I think some of the biggest benefits that we've seen from implementing strength and conditioning into these athletes' lives and in their programs is greatly, I think, noticed in injury reduction rates is probably one of the biggest things. A few of our athletes I'm very proud of, you know, they've really put in a lot of extra time and effort into their training programs and have really resulted in great results. I have to say this experience that I got dunked on by Sam Beckwith, but I'm so proud of the months that he put in prior into a vertical jump training program that we implemented for him, and he's, you know, since then his vertical jump, you know, has gone up hugely. So as hard as that was for me on my pride, I'm so proud of him and what the strength and conditioning program is doing for, you know, for our athletes.
What I learned the most this year was mental toughness and how important it is to just play the way you feel is right and not to overthink things, because that would happen with me a lot, is I would overthink and then I would not do well.
I think I've learned how to be first of all, working hard. Coach Whitehead, I mean, sometimes you want to stop after the 15th line, but you still have to go to 21, and you know, he would run us a lot, but and that hard work paid off in the games, because we were usually, if not always, the most conditioned team, and so we were able to get a lot of points off fast breaks.
The relationships that we developed from those early morning practices was super awesome. We really bonded as a team. You know, we're all kind of there, somewhat miserable, you know, working hard, and that made it a lot easier just to, like, you know, be more of a brotherhood. So
this is my first year at American Heritage School, and I felt like this is home. I love the people that I work with. I love the student athletes that I get to mentor and see compete. It's just a different place, and the feeling that I get when I'm here is different. Surrounding sport, you know, to be able to see student athletes pick up their opponents off the floor repeatedly every time after a foul, or to tell the officials thank you after the game. It's something that's very, very special to American Heritage because it's done so consistently.
Sportsmanship is super important to our tennis program because you're a team, but you're out there on your own, and so you have to represent like yourself and the school and your team, so you have to keep a good attitude even when it's not going right.
Sportsmanship definitely plays a big part in track and field, because when you're lining up in the heats and you're with your teammates and other people you don't know, you all have to build each other up. You can't really tear each other down, get in people's heads. That's just, you're building other people up, they're building you up, and it really is all just one big team effort.
It's super important. It's everything. Just being able to work as a team and being an honest and good player, both with your teammates and with the other team, it's everything with sports. So
sportsmanship was important for us because sometimes, you know, if you lose, that you can't let it get you down, and you just got to have a good attitude all the time, because you won't have fun if you don't have good sportsmanship. So it just makes the whole experience more enjoyable for us.
I think we have a better focus of like what we're trying to accomplish. Instead of just winning, we're like there to like learn and to like help ourselves, but like help each other too.
I'm new to AHS this year. I decided to come here because American Heritage's environment, I feel like, is kind of what I needed.
I choose to play sports at American Heritage because of the atmosphere and of Coach Lee and just the girls that I've been playing basketball with for the past few years, and I wouldn't want to leave that, and it means more to me than my teammates rather than the competition level that I could get somewhere else.
There's just a different feeling at American Heritage. When you step onto the volleyball court, at least for me, I didn't feel like I had to meet a standard. I just felt like I was there to help the team.
Playing sports here has taught me a lot, because I've realized in my other relationships out of school with my friends in other areas, their sports teams are often very competitive and kind of shaming if you don't make the team, or if you don't, score as many points as your other friend or player, it's kind of less downgrading if you're not at the level that everyone else wants you to be at, and it's really accepting of the talent you have, and it's all about improving that talent, and it's also about working hard, and it's very different from what I've seen at other schools where it's if you don't have the talent, you're not worth anything.
I chose to come and compete at American Heritage School just because of the teamwork that everyone has. We all love each other as family. I love my relay team as if they were my sisters, and we really all just kind of grow.
I think AHS is different from public school athletics because of how close-knit we are, how different the atmosphere is, because with public schools, I feel they're too large to be, I don't know, I've never experienced athletics at public schools, but at American Heritage there's a certain sense of camaraderie, a certain sense of family, I guess, that comes with the sport.
So choosing AHS was a big thing for me, but I really appreciate and am grateful for AHS and the athletics programs. They've helped me to grow.
I just love the environment it has, and all the teammates are it's just a family, and all the girls are so nice, and you don't get that everywhere. Like, it's just, you can always count on them, and you know that they're always going to be there for you.
My favorite thing about playing sports here is that I can do whichever sport I want, and there's no pressure to have to be the best at that sport to be able to try out, and nobody excludes you from trying out for anything that you want to try out for.
So about my sophomore year of high school, I was given the opportunity to go to a public school. I was really excelling to play basketball, and there were some people that asked that I go and play at a public school so that I could really learn and play at a higher level. And so I really considered that, and I really considered going to Pleasant Grove to play basketball for them. And then one day as I sat down, I realized what's really important to me. Basketball wasn't necessarily it. I love to play basketball, and I knew that staying in American Heritage I would still play. But that's not really what was that important to me. And so the education that I got here, and ultimately the friends that I had here and the friends on my basketball team were what kept me here. It wasn't necessarily the high competitiveness, it was more the relationships that I was making. And I learned and I realized that the atmosphere here to play sports is so different. And that's what I really wanted, because the atmosphere here is something that I could keep the spirit with me while I played sports, instead of having to sacrifice that in order to play at a higher level.
I had a choice. So I previously went to Challenger School. It only went through 8th grade. And I had a choice as to where I wanted to go for high school. And I remember a few friends talking about American Heritage School. They talked about the spirit that you were able to feel here as the gospel was being taught here too. And I came here for my interview with Mr. Hunsaker, and I remember walking down the hallway and looking at the temple and knowing that this was the place that I needed to be.
Having the new facilities here at American Heritage School has, I feel like, greatly created opportunities for our athletes to be able to excel and get to the next level in their training. We start every athlete off with a functional movement screening, which allows us to kind of see what their movement quality looks like and any deficiencies that they have, so that we can make sure that they are not getting injured, and that we can train them accordingly to, allow for optimal performance for each athlete.
If I had to say there was a senior who definitely helped me and inspired me this season, it would probably be Colton. Just even off the field and in the weight room, he was always pushing me to lift heavier.
Coach Anderson, she's always really nice, and she gives really helpful feedback and teaches you what you can really do to improve.
Megan, I just love her. She's just super sweet, and I just look up to her. She's just awesome.
Rachel Anderson, I love her and probably look up to her because we would always play each other, and sometimes she would win, sometimes I would win, but we just always had such a good time no matter what.
I look up to all the seniors. Lauren, I love how hard she tries. Tia, I love how spunky she is, and I just love how Alex just looks out for everyone else, and she's really selfless.
Probably the senior I look up to the most is Jared Stonehawker, just because he had super great shooting form, and he missed almost nothing, and I want to be a shooter that good.
During my basketball season, I learned from Coach Lee that
practice is important, and so if you weren't committed and you didn't come to practice, you didn't play. So we practiced on being to practice and doing our very best, and so by working hard to practice, we were able to do our best in the game.
So I've learned from Alex just to never give up, because she has like so many injuries and she's come back from all of them, and that's just like such a great example to me of like someone who has so much resilience and never gives up. And Alex has always just been an example of never giving up and being an example to me, especially of just keep going no matter what happens.
All right. The senior I look up to most is definitely my brother Bradley Anderson. He's taught me so much. He's made me such a better player, and he's also made me a better person, getting on me when I'm acting stupid or doing dumb things. And I love him so much, and he's the best brother I could have.
Some advice I'd give to up-and-coming student athletes is just work hard. Just do what you need to do.
Yeah, just to have a good attitude and just have fun along the way.
I've learned that it doesn't matter what you plan for your future. God has something planned for you always, and that's what's great about it.
Do what you want to do, and if you're going to do it well, and practice as hard as you can so that you're not just mediocre at many things, but that you're actually really good at one thing.
Some advice I would give is probably just to be humble and to know your teammates.
I would say, first of all, just try out. If you don't think you'll make it, whatever, just try out, because maybe you will and it'll be a good experience. And then just to never give up, as cliche as that is, never give up and just keep working harder and harder.
Sometimes you just need to trust your teammates, and like you can't do everything out there. You have to play as a team.
And the last game we played was 2 days ago. We went to Mantar. It was a long ride. Went there and played them. Although we lost 4-5, but it was a game that taught me that I should never give up and you should play to the end.
I love the role models that we have in our athletics department, the people, the coaches, who encourage these young men and young women to get up earlier than they would otherwise, who encourage them to work a little harder than they would otherwise, to push a little harder. I could start listing names. I don't think I'll do that, but I hear them talk about how important the sport is, and then I hear them say in the same breath how important it is for them to strengthen their testimonies, the student athletes. This is just an extraordinary kind of place and program because it has such extraordinary coaches. These men and women who are great at their athletic craft, who in college and in their communities have been coaches for so long, but now they come here and they add to it the strength of prayer and devotional and a team scripture and these traditions that the youth, the rising generation, will take with them and let into their heart because they love the sport and they love their coaches. So I want to say thank you to those coaches who are building this program on this foundation of Christ.